Just 4 months after the last one, another series of attacks on a European capital. Most worryingly in Brussels, a city that's been the focus of intense counter-terror activity since Paris. Officials across Europe scrambled to react to this latest outrage.
Any comments on the Brussels attacks?
It's an ongoing incident. We're in contact with the Belgian authorities. We'll obviously give them every assistance we can.
Above Downing Street, in an act of solidarity, the Belgian flag flown at half-mast. Inside, a familiar response from the Prime Minister. An attack on them, he said, is an attack on all of us.
These were attacks in Belgium. They could just as well be attacks in Britain or in France or Germany or elsewhere in Europe. And we need to stand together against these appalling terrorists and make sure they can never win.
President Obama has continued his historic tour of Cuba. He's been criticised for making friends with America's old enemies while not doing enough to tackle newer, far more dangerous ones. The White House issued these photographs of the president and his national security advisor Susan Rice being briefed on the attacks, which he condemned in a speech to Cubans.
We will do whatever is necessary to support our friend and ally Belgium in bringing to justice those who are responsible. And this is yet another reminder that the world must unite. We must be together, regardless of nationality or race or faith, in fighting against the scourge of terrorism.
President Obama has insisted, despite Paris, Islamic State is being contained, losing power and influence. The pictures from Brussels today suggest otherwise. On a trip to Jordan, the EU's foreign policy chief, Federica Mogherini, wasn't able to control her emotions as she reacted to the news.
I will stop here. You will understand this. Today is a difficult day.
Thank you very much.
In Paris, a city still recovering from attacks that killed 130 last November, the French President François Hollande called on all Europe to show solidarity with Belgium.
These attacks come after others. Paris was targeted last year in January and November. Other continents have been affected too. But we are facing a global threat which demands a global response.
But there are clear limits to that global response still, despite attacks on Europe in the heart of its cities, and no political appetite for greater military action against Islamic State on the ground. Instead, governments are relying on intelligence and security measures, which have now again been thwarted. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News.